Welcome to the 3Gen podcast. We are three generations of
life,
love,
and legacy.
and we're hoping to foster meaningful conversations that bridge generational gaps, sharing diverse perspectives and experiences to promote understanding, empathy, and connections across different age groups.
we are three generations of life.
Love,
And legacy.
Welcome back to the 3Gen podcast. This has been such an event weekend. Listen, Sunday I had a chance to witness the graduates of 2025. I couldn't stop crying, and I didn't have any tissue. When I saw those kids walk across the platform, and some of them were college kids, I just couldn't imagine what was going through their minds. These are our new kids, our new generations. They are the ones that's going to leave this world. And some of the things that they were saying and doing and the courses they had taken, and some of those kids had bilateral graduation things. And I just couldn't get over it because back in my day, you just graduated from high school, you weren't accepted into college, coming out of high school. But it was just so remarkable, and tears were just rolling down my eyes. I am so proud of these students. And if you have someone that's graduating, or you know someone, congratulate them and give them a boost because they are our future, and it's just amazing what these kids can do. Now, 3Gen podcast.
Yeah.
Ray, Paul, how are you girls doing today?
I'm great, Miss L.
Very good. So now who has a
How
hot
are you
topic?
doing?
I am excellent. I just feel so refreshed.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow, you look refreshed.
Thank you very much. You all are so good to me. You're so good to me.
Yes, we are.
So now do you have a hot,
You
so do we have a hot topic?
I do have a hot topic. I do. Are you all ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Pearl?
I'm ready. I'm born ready.
Now, we're not going to get caught up on this hot topic because we got caught up in the Dion and Shadora drama a couple episodes ago. But this is an affiliate of theirs.
Wow.
So I want to talk about Travis
I knew
Hunter.
you were going to say that.
I want to talk about Travis Hunter marrying his college sweetheart. Really?
High school, I
High
think.
school.
They've been
they
together since
said.
high school?
I think. I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. I thought it was just college.
Definitely college. Yeah.
But marrying, they just got married. I don't know her name though. But
Deanne or something like that.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not familiar with the story, a couple of months back, I believe they had them plastered all over TV talking about how she doesn't like him and she's only in it for the money because they had like a video of her saying something to him outside the tunnel. Really out of context, I believe, but nevertheless, they were like smudging her name, saying that she's a gold digger and everything, and he shouldn't marry her, and if he should marry her, he should get a prenup. So they got married, and no prenup. I'm happy for my girl.
I don't know whether they did a prenup or not. I don't think anybody knows, but the media is saying because they haven't gone public with it, which is nobody's business whether they did a prenup or not. And their kids, most people, rich, poor, indifferent, and married at that age. Very few of them are married by the time they get my age. Enjoy life. Let them do their thing. He's making an honest living. He said that she was there when he didn't have it. She do it for him. Hopefully he does it for her. And do y'all thing. I'm happy for them. I mean,
I'm happy for them too.
I can get what people are saying. If it was my son, I would, I know I was saying. But at the end of the day, you just gotta support people's decisions. He's an adult. He's making his own money, and this is where his heart is at this time. So everyone has to live and learn for themselves and go. Everybody has to experience heartache.
Yeah.
It takes a fool to learn that love don't love nobody. Phil Perry. But everybody's got to do it. So, hey, I'm happy for them, actually. They seem happy. All
He
the
does
clips that
seem
I've
really
seen at their
happy.
wedding.
Yeah.
But I think the least little expression she makes or the least little thing that they can capture on TV, they try to,
Yeah. Just drag her through the
drag
mud.
her. And I just don't think that's fair to her. And I think they're expecting, too. So
Oh, they are?
I believe so.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations,
If that's the case.
yes.
Congratulations.
I think that
I'm going to see him in Jacksonville.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Yes,
Oh, he
I'll
played for
be-
the Jacksonville
Yeah, Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yes,
So we'll
Well,
be
that's
there. We'll
exciting.
be there. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, but that was my hot topic. People were really upset about it. And I'm like, y'all so mad about
Get
somebody else's life.
Get a life.
And they're even coming at Dion saying, you need to talk to him. You wouldn't let your sons do this. And then you're supposed to be somebody you claim to be like a son to you. And you're going to let him do
Get
this.
a life.
That boy got parents and he is grown.
And his
Like,
mother was there and she was happy.
Yeah.
And they always seem to get along when they're together. That's their life. Let them have it.
I think people get too unraveled in others' lives.
Yes.
And you got to learn
But
when
you can't
to
tell them nothing about theirs.
Mm.
Because they've done worse for less.
Preach,
Ah.
preach.
Yeah, so hey.
What you think about it, Granny?
I'm all for it. They're happy, and he do it for her. She do it for him. What more? Young love, you can't
You
beat it.
can't beat it.
You know,
You can't.
they're around the same age. They can run the same race. Come on, let's do it. Let's have fun. You all have fun. Do you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement, but I have to play devil's advocate because I did hear you say something, Mom. You said that you wouldn't want your son to do that, but you're in agreement. So
No,
what would be
if it was my son, I probably would have something to say. I probably would tell him to wait. It would be my advice. But if this is what he chose to do, I'm not going to ruin my relationship with him over it. Then I'm going to support that, and I'm not going to be mean to her or
why would
disrespectful
you
to
tell him
her.
to wait? You think they just like they're young?
Because they're young, and he's just getting into the league, got so much life to experience. You don't know what adjustments you're going to have to make when you get there, to travel, what wear and tear that's going to do for your relationship, you know. But hey, that's why I say it's to each his own.
Right.
To each his own. But I wouldn't have anything negative to say about it, or I wouldn't, and you don't know the full stories, the ins and outs, but from what I can see from the outside looking in, what they've shared, I'm happy for them.
I
Me
think
too.
it's
That's what's
beautiful.
up.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that? I mean, it hasn't been disclosed, but do y'all think that he should sign a prenup, or do you? I mean, we had a conversation a little bit touching on prenups in a previous episode, but what do you all think? Do you think that he should sign a prenup, or that whatever?
My money, we gonna prenup now. His
Yeah.
money, he do what he want. I think everybody should do what they want with their own money, but come to mine, we signing prenups.
I don't believe in prenups, so
Well,
I agree with you.
I believe in them. I trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
And I think
It
he's gonna be
depends.
fair with her. I really do.
I think it depends on the situation. I think that conversations definitely have to be had, and all prenups don't say you get half or you don't get anything, or you do. Some prenups agree to you get X amount, or you get this, or you get where I'm at when we started, or But I do think that conversation needs to be had, and there needs to be an agreement of This is some prenups say that if you just fall out or fall apart, we divide things evenly. If you get caught cheating, you walk away with nothing, or So it's different. Depends on what you want in yours, and it depends on what's important to him. He said the money's not important to him.
Yeah.
And if that's not important to him, then
Keep it all to her.
I mean,
I'm with it. I'm happy for her. I'm
I
happy
am
for
too.
him.
I am
I
too.
think young love is beautiful.
he bought her a nice truck. They say she
He
upgraded her
did.
ring. She originally had $100,000 ring. I think he bought her another ring that was like $200,000 or $300,000.
He loves
But
her.
first and foremost, he bought his mom a house too. So to me, they're happy. It's not one sided. The parents seem to be happy. He's
Yeah.
doing his thing. He's genuinely a kid at heart. He seems like really such a nice and good person. Seems like a
Yeah.
good kid. Like I
Yeah.
say, what they're sharing with us.
Yeah.
He seems like just a goofball, like he just longing to have a good time, and he just want everybody. He's not asking for everybody's opinion.
And that's good.
So keep it to
It is
yourself.
good.
So at
That's
one
good.
point, before this even happened and he got drafted, he had just kind of blocked himself off of social media because he just stopped hearing negative comments about his relationship and about his girl.
Yeah.
Say she's more of a homebody. She liked to go out, so they was like she shouldn't be going out. She's still young.
She's young.
And I'm
She's
glad that he
young.
allows her to still live and have his life and still, because she's young. Get it out your system. Do what you do. Enjoy life. Have fun. So that way you have no regrets and no resentment.
That's right.
No one, even though he holds the money bag, gets to steal life from another.
That's true.
So, I say let them do their thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Young love, run free.
Yes.
So what's our topic for today?
So today we're going to touch a little bit on words and the meaning of words, and do they lose meaning or meanings or definitions or significance of words change through the generations over time. What sometimes was very offensive, we use now as slang words. Sometimes was insulting words are now words that some people use as endearment. Um, some of them are triggers for some people. So, do words lose meaning, or or words are words and they have different meanings for different people, different cultures, different generations, different? I mean, what are your thoughts? What's the significance and the value of the weight that we put on words?
I truly believe that people give words meaning. I don't really think, I mean, I get definitions and the actual factual of things, but I think that how much a word affects you or the one surrounding you is really how much emphasis you put on it.
I
I think it depends on who's using the word too.
I agree with both of those, and what I'm gonna say with you, Raven, that I agree with you. Say people give words meaning because people can use the exact same words and be slick, meaning the opposite of really what the word means.
Right.
Mhm.
And with you, Miss L, because I can say something and it's laughed at, and my counterpart can say something and it's like, oh, you don't get to say that. You don't get away
Yeah.
with that. And we say the exact same word. So why is that?
Well, some words are derogatory. They're derogatory.
Regardless of whose mouth they come out, or if they only come out of certain people's mouth.
Honestly, regardless of whose mouth, but certain people, like you said, have turned them into slang and have turned them. And in a sense, I think that at times it can be good because you've taken something that used to be harmful. I'm referring to the N word. That used to be harmful, used against us, used to mock like a community of people. And we've really taken it to where it's like, we don't care about that no more. We turned it into a slang word. Now we use it as an enduring word. I personally don't like the word, but I can't tell someone how to turn their pain into like
So if it's endearing, is it endearing regardless of who use it?
no, because you can't inflict something on someone and then they overcome it and then you say, well, it's cool now, so I'll continue to use it too. When you were the like,
Even if they're using it in slang or joking or in music, or even if they're using it not
Well,
in a
typically-
derogatory way.
well, and this is another thing as well. People, like I said, people give words meaning. So if I tell you that you using the N word and you're not of a certain culture, or I feel that you're not in a position to use the word because it hurts my feelings, because you using it takes me back to an era or that time where it was a derogatory word. Now we've kind of overcome that as a people, but if you're not a people, then you shouldn't use it. And your response is, well, you use it, your people use it. I just told you it hurts my feelings. So now it's not even a matter of you using the word, it's really a matter of you continuously insulting me because I just told you I don't like you using it.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
What are
It's
your
not
thoughts,
about the
Ms.
word.
I don't like that word, regardless of who's using it. And I don't like it in songs. I don't like it in the little joke context. And I think it depends on the age group also, because I think with the older generation, certain people just can't use that word. And if you don't hear me use it, please don't use it. It just affect me, you know. I don't like women being called the B word. That's degrading. I that's why I don't listen to a whole lot of rap music. I'm glad they have cleaned it up a lot. But it's just certain things carries water and they are derogative and you shouldn't use them.
I can go along with you all of that, and I'm glad that you kind of mentioned the B word because that word's tossed around a lot, and some people's like even between girlfriends, this my B, and it's like that
Yeah.
mean that we down like 4 flat tires. This my girl,
Yeah.
or
It's an enduring
it's-
word.
it's-
It's
yes,
used
it's-
as endearment.
I don't think I'm with you. I don't really care for none of my friends and I refer to each other as bees, but whenever it is used, I think you should mean it. For me personally. And then you want to see one, call me one. Whenever it is used, be it personal or however, but that's what you get from me. So
Yeah. But I also don't feel if someone is using it as an enduring word and it's something that you don't typically say, again, I just feel that there should be no judgment on it. Like, I've heard women being called the B word, like, from their man, and they like that. I don't like that. But, hey, y'all do what y'all do. When I first got to college, one of my really close friends, that was her slang. She came from, I believe up north. But I'm talking about from the first conversation, B, bring that over here. Come here, B. All this B. And like a lot of us from down south was like, she just keeps saying that. like it's nothing wrong. Then we finally like asked her about it. It was like, cause we don't say that. B, I ain't mean nothing by it. I mean God. Like, and then we realized that that's just how she talks, seriously. And it ain't even just with us, anybody. Like, be this, be that. And that's how she grew up, that's how she talked. And then sooner or later we started saying it. It's just like now that's how we talk to each other, and it's like okay. So I don't know.
So what are some other words besides the N word or the B word that you all feel that meanings can vary?
Well, I mean, can they vary though? That's the real question.
Of course, people can call you crazy and mean that you're crazy funny or you crazy like you ain't got all your marbles.
and
So
but
yeah,
crazy, I don't know. I think that if we're talking about like the real passionate words, crazy just doesn't stand to hold a candle to N word or the B word. I mean, to me, it's kind of like if you're having a conversation with somebody. I just wonder why these words change over time when certain words like stand still in time. It's never a point in time where you can use them. Like, for example, rape. I can't say I went on my homegirl house and we raped this boy and it'd be slang. Everybody gonna look at me like, what are you talking about? Rape? You raped somebody? What? Like, that's not slang. That word will never be slang. So why would...
I've heard rape used in a slang a million times.
Really?
Not that doing of a person, but I can be like, I went to get my car fixed and they straight raped me.
Yeah,
I've
heard
But
never
that
heard
people
that.
saying like that mean people got over on you or they took advantage of you or
That
I've
must
heard
be a
that used in
generational
slang
thing.
a
I've
lot of
never
times
heard
that
that.
they
Never.
rape. I've heard. I have. But
I've never
Yeah.
heard that. That's interesting.
I've
Drop a
heard it.
comment if you've ever heard someone use rape as slang.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that. I heard people use it in that
Hard
context.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't think you should use that.
No, I don't think that you should. I don't think that you should. But I've heard. I've heard people say that they effed me. They raped me.
yeah.
They,
Now, I
yeah,
have heard F.
yeah.
I have heard
Yeah.
F, but not
Yeah.
raped.
Yeah.
But,
I heard that.
okay. I don't know.
People have funny saying, and like when you were saying crazy, that over the years, and I even remember being young, and people in the neighborhood or having relatives and everything who had some psychosocial issues, they were like, oh, they just getting a crazy chick. But now people are more aware of mental health and mental illness, so that has changed. You don't
Right.
necessarily say to people crazy anymore. Now, usually when you say somebody crazy, it means they funny.
Yeah.
Or that they, hilarious, and they got a
you can't
sense of
say
humor.
the R word no more. Oh, they'll
Right.
crucify you.
So, and like I always wondered when I was little as well, why calling somebody a liar was a bad word. What about that word was so harsh that you could say you're a lie or you're a liar? What was so harsh about that?
I never understood it. And now people are saying it, kids and everything, just scot-free.
What was harsh about that, Ms. L? Because
I-
that was
I
like a
know,
bad word. That
It
was
was
a
a
bad
curse
word to
word.
say.
I
Yeah.
would've been better off saying the
It was a
N-word.
curse word. I mean, it was something that my grandmother, really didn't like. I had an aunt that beat me for saying hot dog. And, she thought that was offensive, and I had within myself, I kind of called her the B word. What's offensive about hot dog? But I remember she tagged me for that. So that's how I learned to cuss. So
I got a spanking for saying lie one time to Granny.
see.
Yeah, it was like, so I had to start saying storyteller. You're a story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're synonyms. So if I'm calling you a storyteller, I'm still calling you a liar.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about liar and lie. That
It's honey.
Yeah.
It really
you dare not
tightened
say
your
a grown
drawers.
adult. He's a liar.
they never
Yeah.
said liar. It's like you're a lie.
Yeah.
you know.
They didn't like
Yeah,
that.
they didn't like that. That was like the ultimate no.
But let's okay. So they didn't like it. Granny, you didn't like it neither. I couldn't say lie to you growing up. But so does this just
Not
progress?
call me a liar. That's not happening. I mean, you can say.
She can't call you that now,
No,
can she?
that's right.
You talking about growing up.
Yeah, please, let's not get it twisted.
Well, luckily you're
That
not
word
one,
hasn't
so-
changed its meaning.
Luckily you're not one, so
A
we'll
lot
never
of words
have
haven't
to.
changed to me as far as I'm concerned. When I hear it, it means what it means.
So how do you feel about the younger generation, or not even just young generation, people running around in general saying the N word?
I don't like it. It's offensive.
Regardless if they're using it in slang or not.
Regardless, I think it's offensive, and some people it's every other word.
So you just
And,
think
and, and I say "in" and flies.
I
Are
do
the worst.
despise.
Ins and flies are the worst.
So you say the word.
But I'm not saying it at someone.
Saying it slang wise.
Right.
It's kind of blurred line there.
Well, it's like someone do something that's really offensive or whatnot, and you say "in" and flies.
And I know we used to say all the time when somebody do something that go wrong, or they come to your house and caught away all your food, you be like, that's some nigga shit.
Yeah.
That's some in shit.
Yeah.
Just we say it all the time. That's just, and I don't even think that means. And that's where people get it wrong too. Is that don't mean the color of your skin. That just means that's some ignorant stuff. That's just some stuff that you shouldn't
Anybody
do.
can be one. Anybody can be one.
Yeah, it ain't about the color of your skin. It's that's just some down low, gut bucket, ignorant stuff.
Well, that to me is why I don't like the word, because I feel like it is like in relationship with ignorance. And if we're calling each other that as an enduring word, we're basically saying we're ignorant.
But then some people, that's why I say words have different meaning, because sometimes we can be joking and playing and you say something funny, I'll be like, you're so ignorant for that. But it don't mean that I think that you're ignorant, illiterate, ignorant.
But the word ignorant and then a word that's used to describe a demographic of people as being ignorant is different.
Yeah. All words, so like you say, people may choose the meanings and they're different in different contexts.
Yeah.
So, that's how
To what
you drive the
extent-
conversation.
To what extent do you all feel is necessary for you to stop someone from saying these words?
I think you control your environment. I think if someone speaks or say derogatory things or things that you feel offensive, then you're not obligated to continue conversation with that person. And when you see them come around and they start, you dismiss yourself, and they'll notice that every time that you pull up or I don't take part in those conversations. I can be at work, I can be if it's a negative conversation, or if I think that person is just too far political, too far left, I'm not engaging in those conversations.
there.
I'm not letting you bringing me down that path.
Right.
Yeah.
Not gonna entertain that.
Yeah. And then, if enough people do it, but then they always find a circle of people that feed into it too. They
Yeah.
always find and it's going to be probably more that do than don't.
Yeah.
But I let them have that.
I'm just thinking because I don't know if you all it's an incident that just took place where this Caucasian lady, she was at the park and she called one of the young boys the N-word. And like now she's like plastered everywhere.
But
She's
she got a
making
lot of money.
so much money
Raised a
and
lot
all of
money.
this from basically saying a derogatory word. And people are basically saying it's freedom of speech, and that's why they're giving her the money. They're saying that they think she's wrong, but it's freedom of speech, and she should be able to say what she wants to say. Do you think that there should be some consequences?
She was a public figure or something, wasn't she, or no?
And it's about the little kid took her child's toy or something like that. But the little kid himself was kind of artistic, I think. And she called him the N-word.
She said it in a demeaning way,
Right.
and meant it when she said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So that
Well,
came
she
from
didn't take
her
it back.
heart. But those that are supporting her feel the same way.
They feel
Period.
the same
Oh,
way.
that's why they're giving her the money.
But that's why I'm saying to what extent, because also they feel the same way, but that situation could have been left on the playground. I do think that people should be exposed. Don't get me wrong on that. But if the parent would just been like, you ignorant, and took their child home and just left it on the playground, like what extent do you feel that you should hold people accountable to words? Like it's a word. It is demeaning, and she was being rude. Because I've seen some people get locked up behind these words.
Of course.
Like people fight behind it. People, and it's just like, okay, so you defended yourself or you defended the word, but now you're in a worse off situation, or you're putting other people in a better situation. Like now the racist or the prejudiced lady and whatever is a millionaire. What did that help? Now she just can go be
Of course, you
prejudiced and
gotta
racist
know
everywhere.
what you gotta choose your battles, and some battles aren't worth fighting, and sometimes it's not worth even belittling yourself to their level. To me, she should have cussed her out. I got taken care of business if she had to beat her ass or whatever going on about your business. That would have been the end of it for me. You know, I would have snatched my child up. Me and her would have dealt with that, and then
Yeah.
whether it was verbal or whatever, it was whatever. But she would have had to know that I was displeased and that you don't whatever. And then you have a conversation with your child that's not okay.
You give the toy back,
That's
and
not
everything,
okay.
Yeah.
I would have stepped on the toy.
Well, whatever. Leave it there.
Yeah. But even outside of that situation, it's so many people who are like sitting behind bars right now because of their temperament of just someone saying these
Self-control.
words to them or someone calling them something that they didn't appreciate. And now all of a sudden it's like you've lost your livelihood behind
Sticks
a
and
word.
stones.
Yeah. So is the analogy sticks and stones may break your bones, but words never hurt me? I mean, is that really true? Because it seems like words
words
really
hurt.
take, yeah.
Like
Words
a
hurt.
sword.
Yeah.
Words hurt. Sometimes you can hurt people more with words because you internalize those words.
Right.
And you carry them with you. Sometimes it's easier to take the beating. That's why parents and stuff that are verbally abusive, they say just spank them if you're going to spank them. Just punish them if you're going to punish them. But when you beat them down with your words, that go on. They carry that.
And they remember
Words
that forever.
matter.
They
They
do
remember
remember
it.
forever.
Words matter. They matter. They matter.
They do. It be grown people talking about what
Traumatizing
happened.
kids.
Yeah, what happened in their childhood, what was said, what their mama said, what their daddy
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Words
grandma.
matter.
Yeah, they do. So, since words matter, we can all agree on that. Do you all feel that entertainment takes a role in kind of what we feed into our mind, our verbiage? Like, for instance, Granny, you said earlier you don't like rap music because you claim they say the B word a lot, the N word a lot. They don't always say that now.
And I
It
say
is
they
some
have
clean
changed.
rap music.
They have changed.
It's
but
some music from back in your day that say a couple things too, but we
never
won't get
said
into
that. We never used it. But we had love languages and whatnot. Bring it down and get it down. And all that kind of carrying over. None of that B and W and MF and all that. You can't name a record.
Name one.
I can't go all the way back then, but Mom, Tupac and all of them was in your day. That was your age range, so
I've never been a rap girl.
you haven't.
So
but
I've never, and to this day, I can't tell you, I can't record a rap song.
I can't even tell you anything.
But I just
um,
think that my generation gets a bad rep for being the ones to start that type of like derogatory rap and everything. But it was already going on beforehand.
It just escalates. They just add another layer to it.
I
and
think
add
we've
love to
tapered it
yeah.
down. I think we've tapered it down from derogative words to more sexual content, and we need to taper that down too. To be real,
I can say when my day rapping was about rhyming and bebop. Now, if you listen to the good rappers during your day, there's a message in the music and in the song. If you really listen to Jay-Z, just listen to the words. If you listen to some of Drake rap, just listen to. There's truly a message in the Kendrick Lamar. There's a message in the words. Now this mumble rap, I can't tell you nothing they saying.
Right.
But those I can tolerate if I can't listen to but so much of it. But there's a message in the music. Whereas in my day, rap music was really about bebopping. It was about a beat. It was, about rhyming. All the rap music used to rhyme like a poem, every other word,
Yeah.
So I think the dynamic of it has changed, but society oversells sex and drugs and derogatory words. And so it's like it went through a phase where it had to be that to make it. And then once people make it, they clean up and do something else.
Right.
But they got to get themselves out there with what sells. And derogatory shit for some reason sells.
It does sell.
Well, it sells, but then also you sell yourself out doing it. Because if all the artists sell, we not doing that. Then what else would we have to do? If you want to listen to rap music, then you just got to listen who out. I mean, if you like rap that much, everybody can make a stand for themselves. Saying.
It can, but when you're trying to get into the industry and these producers are telling you what sell and they tossing these upfront dollars in your face, and if you just do this or rough it up a little bit or then I think once you've made it and you can fund your own project, that's when they go back and clean it up. That's when they go back.
They go back and clean it up, but is the work or the damage already done? No. If you have a young girl that idolizes you, and it's 10 years later, you've been in the game for 10 years, and you've been only talking about hoe this, be this, my P this, and all of this, and this girl grown now. I mean, she done grew up listening to you. Now, you late in the game talking about, I don't really do that. I was just, I'm grown. I done listened to you, followed your lead. Like, is the damage done now?
Sometimes yes and sometimes no. And I'm going to give you a good example. Another rapper, I couldn't tell you not one of her songs, but when Nicki Minaj first came out, she was like masquerade, real provocative, but she always had on all these crazy costumes and designs. Nobody even knows she was pretty or had a face.
That's not true. That's not a good example.
That is. Nicki Minaj used to have on all kind of just...
But we still knew she was a baddie. This is coming from a Nicki Minaj fan.
No, I'm saying, but you never really got to see the true her. But now when she rap, it's just you can see her.
And she dressed better.
You can see her.
Well, she was being theatric.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like, but that's what sold at the time. That's what people knew her for. That's what kind of made her mark. Yeah. And then after she, so now she can just, she got her following. So now she can truly do the music that she really loves and wants to do without being a character.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because she still do the same music. She just took the makeup off.
But it's not a character. She didn't need that to attract their attention.
An example that I would use is like Trina. She rapped about like
I used to
all
love
of this
myself
stuff.
some Trina.
Yes, but then now in interviews, now that she's older, she's saying she's never done any of that stuff. She's like, I don't do that, and this and that. But yet you've pretty much catered your whole career to rapping about this, rapping about effing friends and sucking this and all of that. And these young girls grew up
2 or 3 best
it.
friends.
Yeah, these young girls grew up idolizing that, and now you
in
in your late 40s and 50s done made the money.
You gotta think for yourself.
You don't know now.
So do you think, since we're talking about words, since we're talking about you want to
like Trina, honey. I just like that you don't know now.
Yeah,
that's on the part I know.
Yeah, it's a lot that come after that. You don't know now. So,
see, I don't know anything about Trina.
Yeah. So, but okay, so words.
Trina and Trick Daddy.
Verbiage. Should we hold these influencers really, or entertainers accountable for this?
No, teach us on, because there's a market for everyone. I think that there's some people that's entertained by that. There's some people that enjoy that love that. That's their verbiage. That's their life. That's what they say every day. That's how they live. Teach us on. They have that right to enjoy that level of entertainment.
Right.
So I say, if that's their audience and that's who they cater to, let them make their money. Let them have their entertainment. That's how they get down. That's how they party. When they get past that stage, if they ever do, or if they don't, that's what they like. Everybody's entitled to what they like, even though...
But we talking about derogative words, not about what you like or what.
But
That's
like,
what
that
sells,
culture
isn't
that
it?
they like that, so why cancel that if that's what their entertainment they like? Maybe it's not derogatory to them. That's perception. What's derogatory to me may not be derogatory to you.
but it's just putting it out in the world. Okay, for example, I was at a Kendrick Lamar concert this past weekend, and Kendrick Lamar, he has a lot of diverse fans. So I can look to my left and see my people. I can look to my right and see people who are not of my culture. But we singing the same song. And every word is in this, in that, in this. So how can you expect someone not to sing a song that they love? So why even put the verbiage out there? It's like you're basically inviting people to say these words. In their derogative words.
While you were there in the moment, did you feel some kind of way?
I just chose not to look to the other side because I would feel some type of way if I see someone who is not of my race. I don't like the word period, but then of course to look over and see someone not of my race talking about in this, in that, pointing and doing that. I mean, what are we doing?
So,
But at the same
and I think
time,
it's
I have
the
an
mean of the
understanding-
words, and
But
like
at
you
the
say,
same
how you
time,
define
I have
the
an
word.
understanding that this is a song. He put it out there for the world, and everybody in the world can listen to it. But that's what I'm saying. So should you take more accountability as an artist because you know these are words that you're putting out?
But that's
No,
your
I think
audience.
the consumer has to take the accountability.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, don't go to his
don't go to
concert.
the concert,
You know
don't
that's
buy
what
the
it's gonna say.
record.
And you
I
know what
won't
the
be
fan
buying the
base are
record. I don't
diverse.
like it.
If you don't like it, don't listen to it. If you don't like it, censor
You
it.
like
If you don't like
and
it, you know.
you can go and be free.
it's-
You know
it's
the
your
other ones,
option.
and you
Yeah.
know do what you need to do. Go ahead.
And
on.
like I say, maybe his definition of the word is not color. His definition is ignorance. His definition is, we said that the words mean what the people make them mean.
Definition. We're talking about like what you can put out into the world. If you have the power as an artist, you have a large network, a huge influence to spread words of positivity. Why choose this?
So
If you can get the same
just because I
meaning-
have a talent of an artist, does that mean that I got the same morals everybody have? Just because I'm talented and I'm have an artist, just because
Exactly.
I'm talented to have an artist, does that mean I love God because you love God? Is it because I'm talented as an artist that mean because you don't eat meat, I shouldn't eat meat? Just because I'm talented, and people have their own thing. Maybe to him it's not offensive. As an artist, this is what he lived by. This is what he go. This is part of
him.
his everyday
This is him.
dialogue.
Okay,
This
so
is
let
him.
me tell you, that would make sense if you weren't singing a song about it being offensive and you don't want to hear, oh, white boy say it no more. But then yet we at your concert, the lyrics say this, and we at your concert and look around and they saying it.
So who you want to hold accountable, the artist or the consumer? Who bought the ticket to go to the concert? Who flew across
And
the
know the
world to go to the
words.
concert? Who knew the words and got on the plane and went
But
all the
who
way to
before
LA to go to the
before it
concert
even
to
entered
contribute to?
But who before it even entered the public ear got in the booth and put the track down?
That's his.
But that's what he do. Cause he knew that they will come see it. They're gonna come hear it and they're gonna buy it. And the more they buy it, the more it
So
encourages
that's-
him to make it.
But that's what I'm saying. So who do we hold accountable
The
for this?
consumer.
Like, no.
Yes, 'cause
I don't believe
if he didn't get the following, he was like, I got to switch this up.
I gotta switch it up.
We doing this
Hey, but
podcast.
Ken,
If
at the
y'all don't
concert-
comment soon,
Mhm.
we got to
Switch
switch
it
this
up.
up.
Right.
It's
gotta
it's
switch it
on
up.
the it's not
No,
on us.
But I just don't agree.
Yeah.
It's like saying if we say something on this platform and then put it out to YouTube and then we're like, oh, but y'all can't say it. Oh, but we don't want it. That's like why would you say that then? Why would you put it out there? So that's my point. It's like the artist is saying, oh, nah, we don't want to hear you say that. But then yet every song you saying it and you putting it out there for everybody. Why not just switch out the word? It's many words that you can use that have the same meaning.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying, since the artist is making money and he's saying it and y'all still coming, same thing like you're saying if our podcast, if we say something and it turns somebody off, they have the choice next week to come back and hear it again or not to come back and
But
hear it again.
I'm not talking about the choice of the listener or listening to
You're
it.
saying
I'm talking
accountability.
About, I'm talking about
And what you say, and I say, and what she says is three different things.
it's kind of
They
like
might agree with you and not agree with me.
it's kind of like, okay, back in your day, like you said, music, y'all had substance. So the men in the music wasn't just saying be this, be that, be this, and oh, lay that be down and this and that. When they talked about women, they said woman, lady, and all of this. Okay, cool. So as a reflection, your generation spoke to women that way. They spoke to women in a meaningful way because that's what they heard. The people who they idolized, their role models, were saying kind things. So in reflection, they said that. Now the men are saying this be this hoe this and that.
Only
so in
that
reflection,
select group up that you
No,
choose to
in
listen to,
reflection.
because
That's
it's
not-
some Tyrese movies, songs out there. It's some Joe songs out there. It's some Babyface songs out there that they ain't calling you bees.
And you listen.
It's
to
some
you
Kim
like
music out there that I'll fly to LA to
That-
see
I
Kim.
listen-
I would
to
have flown
all
out there to
genres.
see Kendrick Lamar, but now let Kim. I'm on my way.
Exactly. So it's
Come
what
on.
you have the choice to listen to what you want to listen to. If you want to listen to that
Kendrick
derogatory
Lamar,
stuff,
But those are
Babyface.
different
They
genres.
not
Kendrick
like
Lamar,
us.
Babyface.
But those are
They
different
not like
genres.
us.
Babyface.
Listen, those
Kendrick
are different
Lamar,
genres.
They
We're
not
talking
like
about
us.
rap. We're talking about
Yeah.
rap.
no, we're talking
and
about
we're
music.
about-
We're talking about
music.
music in general.
Music.
Derogatory words that have meanings.
Kendrick
That's what we're
Lamar,
talking
or
about.
Babyface.
What you gonna do? I pay your rent.
Nah,
Babyface.
nah.
Soon as you get home from work.
That's right.
No, but I don't know. I just think that they should be held accountable. No one is asking them to be a role model, but at the same time, what you put out into the world matters. And you have to think. If you're not, you don't have to come into the entertainment business as a role model, but at the same time, you have to know that your influence carries weight. That's all I'm saying.
So people tend to indulge, listen to, mimic what they like and what they're attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
I
Fly
agree.
across the world to see it.
That's right.
What they like and what they're attracted to. Some instances, you get there and you're a little disappointed, which appears that maybe you were.
I was
But-
disappointed.
But people, and I think that it's something for everybody, and it's entitled to be something for everybody. I know some artists that got some clean music and they got some gutter music, but it's something for everybody. Some people know their audience and they perform accordingly with that audience. It's something for everybody. There's some artists that you can see and they doing all type of crazy stuff and go to church and lay the best hymn. They perform for that audience. So talent comes in different forms.
Different ways.
Words have different meanings to different people.
Exactly.
People have different levels of understanding, different things that turn them on, different triggers, different. There's a lot of different languages amongst the community. Saying the same word, but it's a totally different languages with totally different meanings.
I don't know. I don't agree because
You're entitled.
I don't hear other genres of music.
Of
or
course they
other-
do. Of course they do. It's just you don't listen to
You
it.
don't
It's a
listen
lot of
to it.
degrading country music and it's some good country music.
Right.
Hard rock is a lot of degrading hard rock music talking about killing you, hanging you, stabbing you, all kind of crazy stuff, gothic stuff.
But where
then they got
in
some
that
good
music? Okay, I don't want to say the derogatory words, but where? If I listen to Spanish music, where are they saying the derogatory words that bring
How
their
do you know
people
it's in
down?
Spanish?
If I listen to,
I think it's
like,
some in all of it. I think
Yeah.
everybody has some music that is less favorable and favorable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people are people and people are flawed, so people got different likes and dislikes. It's some music that they say that is camouflaged as sexist. It's some music that is camouflaged as people that to appeal to druggers. It's some music that's camouflaged.
right.
But if you're not into that and
You're
you don't
not
listen
into
to
it,
that,
you're
you're
not
not
listening
picking
to
up on
it.
it. You don't know it. But it's some derogatory stuff and everything. And that's just like they can say even when you're on the internet, they got all these code words for sex traffickers. They ain't saying I'm a sex trafficker, come and get you, but they got certain code words that they know that that's what it means. Even for dating, prostitution, all type of things. It's code words. And some people fall into it not knowing what it is because different words have different meanings.
I think
But
we're
you gotta
I
know.
think we're talking about two completely different
But
things.
you gotta know.
but
You gotta be in the game to know it. So it's what your interest is.
You don't have to be in the game to know what.
You just want
N-word
someone to be held
means.
accountable for what they say.
They don't have to be. I'm just saying I think that they should be, but they don't have to be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think this is a topic we're gonna
So
have
I
to
think
agree
the
to
N
disagree
word have
on
different
it.
meanings.
Yeah.
That's what we said from the beginning. For me, it's the ignorance. It's just a low life ignorance. But I'm not looking at a color with it. I don't. And I think they come in all color, shapes, forms, and fashions. So for some other people,
I think that when you say that, you have to be real with yourself. You are associating color with it. If somebody was to say right now, without turning around, if some ends behind y'all, you think you're gonna turn around and expect to see? Like, be real. You're not gonna turn around and
like
expect
she said,
to
it comes
see.
in the context and it comes into who's saying it.
Mm-hmm. But it's color
In the
associated
context
with
that of course, it's always going to be associated with the colored people.
Exactly.
But I think I try not to use the word, and I ain't saying that I don't never use the word, because from now and then I be like, this some shit, But in my context, I really am saying that there's some ignorant stuff or this some, but I'm not saying that colored people are ignorant,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it depends on who uses it, but you really need to try to be conscious.
What kind of shit it is.
Yeah, you really kind of need to be conscious about using it. And that's why I say sometimes things that offend you, you're guilty of doing and saying.
Yeah.
So you got to be conscious about how you do it and say it too.
That's right.
And sometimes you get upset or you get caught up in the moment or you have emotions and some things come out your mouth that you be like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But words have meaning and they hold a lot of weight.
They do.
And some people can catch you at your bad moment and you said that, and that's their depiction of you for life.
For life.
And I think music is entertainment. And let's stop holding these artists to a higher level than just that. It's entertainment.
I think it's entertainment, but at the same time,
they signed up to be role models.
They didn't sign up to be role models, but like I said, your influence is heavy, and it does shape the culture of a lot of things. Kind of like how when we had the comedy talk, I get it, you're a comedian, but at the same time, everything just can't come out of your mouth. People really take what you say and run with it. It's because your influence. I mean, regardless, if you wake up and say, whatever, I want to do what I want to do, but you have to know it's eyes on you. If Will Smith right now say, you know what, I can't do it today, let me just go jump off a bridge, it's people who would follow him. Like, and that's ridiculous, I understand that, but it's people who would follow him. So you have to understand the influence that you have. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you signed up to be a role model. Nobody should hold you accountable to that stature.
But is that a lot of pressure on some?
I mean, it could be, but everybody have pressure.
Yeah, but I said unwarranted pressure. I mean, I'm into entertainment. I ain't signed up to be. Yeah, I ain't signed up to be your priest, your president, your pastor. I'm entertainment.
You're nothing.
Right. You're nothing. You're another human being. You're flawed.
I think that it comes with the job. It's kind of similar to like the president. Okay, everybody's saying it shouldn't be this serious. I mean, but at the end of the day, that's your role. Like, it should be serious. So I think it's just the role that you take on. I think that you have to understand that there's
a seriousness to some roles, and there's entertainment, meaning for your entertainment pleasures only. But then there are some roles meaning that you got to take business. You've taken an oath. You're sworn in. You've been voted for by the people. You work for the people. But entertainment is optional.
Well, I think
you have the freedom to choose what entertainment you want to listen to and indulge in.
I think now more than ever we're seeing how skewed and how blurred that line is. So
is it?
Yeah.
But you still have a choice.
But you have to choose, right?
You have that choice.
Only thing I know about Kendrick Lamar is that he did the halftime show. They're not like us. I can't tell you none of Kendrick Lamar's songs. The Uncle Sam theme, this, that. But I can't tell you nothing else about Kendrick Lamar because I don't listen to rap music. I don't have nothing against Kendrick Lamar. If you'll never get in my car or come to my house or be around me and rap music going on. When I go out every now and then, homecomings or hanging out with the girls or whatever, and rap music come on, and some of my friends, they know every word, and they bounce saying this, that, and the other, and I'm just like, let's get it on.
But let's say this. You may not know the song, And I've been in the car with y'all before, and I'm playing a song, a rap song. You'd be like, "What is this? Why are they saying all of this? What?" So yes, it makes a difference,
Right? Because
and
I
you
don't
want
listen
your,
to it,
but you don't want your child listening to it,
and I
You
so I
want
don't
it,
listen
like,
to it. So it's my choice not to listen to it. You
It's
can
your
even
choice,
sometimes you're
but-
playing music, and I be like, we got to turn this
Yes, that's my point.
because that's my point. I
But
have
then,
the choice to
okay,
listen.
But then even growing up, you don't have to listen. But if you caught me listening to a song that say this and that and that, it's like, why are you listening to that? Don't listen to that. You can't listen to that artist. Because words have an impact. They
have
change
meaning.
and shape you.
Yes,
That's
but just,
all I'm saying.
and that's what we're saying too. So why listen if it's negative to you? But I'm saying it's not
Because
negative
a lot
to everybody.
Of people don't feel like it's negative,
Right.
but the impact that it makes.
Yeah.
The impact that it makes is what I'm saying.
Some people, they're heroic to them. Some people, you know, they look up to. I'm just serious.
I'm serious too. People
yeah.
look up to this, and then they
Yeah.
build their whole personality on it, their
Personas,
persona,
everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's like what?
Yeah.
But then the artists also know that this is going on, and they don't care. Like for instance,
It's an
Future.
ego boost for them.
But for instance, okay, Future, he's a very popular rapper. My entire middle school, high school, all this man rapped about was drugs. I know people who have done drugs just because Future was saying it's cool to get high, this and that. Come to find out, this man don't even do drugs. He said he's never taken a drug in his life. But you put this out there, and it's people who own drugs now because of you. What? Why would
But
you
why
do
is that his responsibility? Because
Because
at some
why would
point,
you
people
lie?
gotta
Why
take
you
account.
listen to Future
Because
and listen
it's
to your parents?
entertainment. He didn't take an oath. He didn't say, "I swear everything I'm saying in this song
But at
is
what
the truth, the
point
whole
do
truth,
you-
nothing but the truth. Oh, help me God." He didn't do that. It's entertainment. At what point do you stop blaming other people? Take responsibility for yourself and your own weakness. Nothing, nobody can put in a song can make me want to go do it.
It's not about weakness. It's more so. It's like, okay, if you're online and you see somebody saying, "Oh, this diet this diet that, this shake in protein," you try to shake in protein, and they be like, "Oh, but I forgot to tell you." Years later, it gave me cancer, but I forgot to tell you so because I had to do this to sell. Why would you do that? Why would you cause all these people to basically have a cancer because you wanted to sell a product? That's not right, and that's all I'm saying. It's the same thing. Words have the same diction. You don't do something, but then yet you pushing it out there, telling people do this, and then years later you saying, "Well, I mean, I just had to sell that album, so y'all, I don't care that y'all on drugs or y'all do drugs. I just had to sell the album." Are you all okay?
But it has to be a certain mindset, and it went through a period like that where doing drugs was glorified, or that means you was hip, or you was gangster, or you was this, or you was that. But that's mentality. That ain't the rapper fault. That ain't the entertainer fault. We don't have to. That's my point. Those are choices.
All right. I don't think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this topic.
Don't you? Who do you agree with, Miss L? What do you? Logic.
This girl in left field. No accountability. Can't think for yourself just because somebody's saying it. You know, go listen to some good people and, go to the library and read up on that. Look up the diet thing before you go to taking and buying and cutting the food. Just silly.
I think what y'all are calling silly, y'all have done yourself. So
Not me. I don't make all kind of people my idols and my influences. That's not happening. I got my own thing going. I ain't made no money
It's
on
entertainment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
I
say
ain't paying to go across the world to see nobody cut that kind of food. Put the tape in and just
Tape.
what tape or album, whatever you got going. I'm not going across the world listening to nobody cut the food. Get up and sing 3 songs and gone. Child, please.
Can't do it.
I'm not gonna do it. Not spending mine like that.
Okay. Well,
There you have it.
There you have it. Again, I think this is just a topic we're going to have to agree to disagree on. Please put in the comments who you all agree with and share your thoughts on the conversation. We would love to hear it. Seriously, I need some backup, y'all, because they
She
up
needs
here.
some help. Help her.
Help her, because
They
she's
up
making
here
a bit of
tripping.
sense.
Y'all know
Help
I'm
her.
making sense, and they know it as well.
None.
Help her out.
Help me out in the comments below. Put in there if you agree with me.
Flying all across the world.
For what?
In this, in that.
They being sinner.
Don't forget to like, comment.
You can't look this way. You can't look. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. You can't look that way.
What were you saying about press that button?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave the comment, y'all. I need your backup on this
Help her
episode. Please, because
Don't
as
agree
you
with
can
that
see-
foolishness.
As you can see, they tripping. All right. That's
That's a
it.
move.
That's a wrap. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Ta-ta.
Till next time. Peace.